Hi, this is Steve Stine from Guitar Zoom, and I get asked a lot about the concept of being able to speed pick, learning how to pick fast. And not that you want to do it all the time, but it's certainly a technique that can be very useful to your playing. And so what I want to do today is I want to give you some tips on how to be more productive, more efficient with your speed picking. And so I'm going to break down a few different things, and then you and I can build them back up again. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about your right hand. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is the guitar pick that you're using. I want you to be very aware of the guitar pick and its ability to enable whatever your outcome is, whatever it is that you're interested in trying to do. The problem is a lot of times is people don't take the guitar pick very serious. When you find really good players, I think they take their guitar picks very serious. I can't speak for everybody, obviously, but I would think so. And what I mean by that is there are really two different things you need to be thinking about with a guitar pick. Number one, you're thinking about the size of the guitar pick relative to your hand and your approach to picking the strings. And the second thing is the thickness of the pick and how it bends or reacts to the string as you pick it. I have very small hands, and so I use very small guitar picks. Now, I used to exclusively use Jazz 3s by Dunlop, which are very, very small picks. And I used those for years. And when I would use them, as soon as the tip of the guitar pick would get worn down, I'd throw it away and get another pick. You know, that's another mistake that people make is if we're actually talking about speed picking here, in my opinion, the sharper the point is, the easier it is to create a nice aggressive pick on the string, but yet, again, we're going to talk about this, but not get stuck on the string. If you've got a rounded edge on the front, like a jazz pick sometimes would be, you're not going to get that percussive kind of speed, that speed sound with a rounded side. So what happens is over a period of time, of course, of using the guitar pick, the tip of the pick gets worn down and then it doesn't do you any good anymore. So what I would recommend to you is that you have a guitar pick that is sharp on the end. And if that starts getting worn down, throw it away. I mean, the most expensive picks for the most part are a couple of dollars. I'm not saying that you can't get into picks that are way more expensive. Of course you can. I just don't really use those guitar picks. I use picks that are relatively easy to replace. But again, picks are holy for some people, so it depends on what you want. I'm just saying, in terms of speed picking, it's nice to have a sharp end, a sharp pointy end on your pick. The size of the pick makes all the difference because when you grab that guitar pick, you have to think about how much pick is actually sticking out the bottom, okay? So in this camera shot, if you can see that, it's kind of hard to see, but I have a tendency of playing with very little pick sticking out the bottom of the guitar pick. So when I go to play, you know, my hand isn't way out here picking like this, you know, with a again, this is hypothetical, but with a pick that size, right? I've seen these huge triangular picks, man. I don't even know what you would do with those things. But the point is for speed picking, I want to have very little sticking out the end. I want it to be sharp. So when I come across that guitar string and I start picking, you'll notice I kind of grab onto the body of the guitar and sort of on the bottom of the first string here. That's a personal preference. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just kind of let my hand go, and we're going to talk about wrist and all those sorts of things. But let's get past this first step, okay? So as I have this pick, I'm kind of cupping the pick up far enough to where there's just a little bit sticking out the bottom. Okay, and now I come across those strings. Right now I'm using these John Petrucci style jazz picks. They're also made by Dunlop. They're a little bit bigger, which took me a little while to get used to, but I actually really like them better than the Jazz 3s at this point. Who knows? Next week I'll probably go back. You never know. I mean, the point is what's feeling good to you, right? So if you choose a pick and it's really working for you, and then next week you choose something else, so what, right? You only have yourself to explain it to. But anyway, so I like the pick really thick as well, which these Jazz 3s and these Dunlops really are, or these John Petrucci style. They're very thick and they don't move at all. And I prefer that in my playing in general. So when I go to play something quietly, I just hit softer. And when I want something harder and more aggressive, then I can hit more aggressively. If you've ever used like a paper thin guitar pick, the problem with those is they bend. So when you go to pick that string, the pick itself bends and then it pushes through. So again, there's a bit of a delay, and there's this floppiness, this kind of, spaghetti noodly thing happening with the guitar pick. And so it's nice if you're strumming and you're really heavy-handed and you want a little bit lighter sound, but they're not very desirable for speed picking. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to have a super thick pick. You don't. You just have to find what's comfortable. One of my favorite guitar players, his name is Paul Gilbert. Paul Gilbert for years used really thick picks, and then all of a sudden he went back to a kind of a medium style pick, and he loved it. And nobody's going to argue with the way Paul Gilbert plays. It's perfect to me. So it's most comfortable to you. That's what you're looking for. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. Listen, if you're ready to take your guitar playing to the next level, then I'd like to invite you to go to guitarzoom.com and sign up for a VIP membership, which gives you first access to my premium lessons each month, which are customized for your specific goals and skill level. Now, it's an awesome community of guitar players that love to play, have fun, and support each other's goals, and we'd love to have you join us. So go to guitarzoom.com and sign up for VIP today.